Ms. Grundman, thank you for making time to take this call. You might not remember me, but
Are you kidding me?
no, I am not. I am not kidding you. I mean, I know I said this is funny, but that was just an awkward.
I remember you, Charlie.
From Vassar. You remember me from Vassar?
Yes, I do remember you.
Oh, well, the opening salvo in this conversation is completely shot. I'm not the person you remember.
You're not? Grad student, creative writing with Grace Paley, Psych 101 lecture assistant who vamped when Dr. Lyman ran late with complete Groucho Marx routines.
Okay, I'm the person to remember. Mostly not that at all, not a grad student.
Not a grad student.
No, just a grown up returning to academia after 6 bad decisions.
Wow.
6 other bad decisions.
You rescued me on the most humiliating day of my life.
Oh, I do not remember that at all.
Oh, Grace gave us a reading assignment. I don't remember the name of the book, like American Short Stories of 1968 or something. Story on page 63. 63, I remember.
Oh, I remember that assignment and that event, but I did not remember that was you.
That's nice. But nobody else remembers our greatest shame, so we are left, each of us, to carry our own.
Oh, if you don't write that down, I will.
What did I say?
Nobody remembers our greatest shame, so we are left, each of us, to carry our own.
Oh, yeah, but except it needs the first part or it's not funny. It's just sort of.
If you don't write that down, I will. If you don't write it down, it's a fantastic sentence. And if you don't write it down, I'm going to. That's all I'm saying.
No, I've got it. I said, that's nice. Nobody else remembers our greatest shame. So we are left, each of us, to carry our own. You're right. You're right. Maybe I'll give it to Daniel.
This is not going it all the way I planned for it to go.
I'm sorry. Should we go back and you can spend some time reminding me of who you were?
No, that would be.
I can tell you who you were. We're going around that table talking about that stupid story that we were supposed to read. And everybody's like a little bit giggly and excited about it. And Grace is sitting there all, lovely and smug and happy. And I thought, yeah, it's a good story. But the language was weird and flowery. And there was this metaphor I didn't get that I thought the writer really should have clarified. Because clearly, if I can't parse a complex metaphor, then that's something that the writer got wrong.
You were 18.
And you were in grad school. Or not in grad school, but God, just so grown up and so comfortable in your skin.
You went to page 60, whatever, and you started reading and you were showing off for Grace how clever you were. And you didn't realize it was her story she was sharing with us, basking in our adoration for a day, talking about her work instead of our own.
It felt like I talked for hours. And that's, oh God, and just pointing out all of the flaws and picking it apart. And those girls and that one weird boy started chuckling. And I just kept talking, getting more and more nervous. And Grace was looking at me like she was about to burst into laughter. And you said, I think Lindsay is making a point about the way we pick apart one another's work without giving it the assumption of quality.
Yes, I remember this, but no, that's not what I said. Not what I said at all. Also, you weren't talking that long. I am so sorry that hung with you all this time. Grace did not mind that at all. She thought it was lovely. See, everybody was edgy because they didn't know, you didn't realize you were reading the teacher's work and you were criticizing it so candidly that it felt really naughty. But she was so proud. And she thought you were taking her work seriously enough to get into all of that with her. And she was beaming at you. And then I said, you do it to her. And she said, this is why I can't ever forget this day. She said, this is what we're doing here. Not the writing and the reading of the writing, but this. If we can't keep rewriting this stuff after it's in print, what will we have to regret?
Why am I so ready to abandon my memory and accept yours?
I have no idea, but memory is a funny business. and it rarely pays well. Unless, of course, it's the secret word of the day and the duck comes down, gives you $100.
Oh God, I do remember you well, if inaccurately. Had a huge crush on you. I was very excited when Emma asked if you were someone who should go on my schedule.
Oh, this is not a romantic call at all.
Oh, okay. I may have put together a fantasy in my head without adequate information. I dolled myself up.
Well, you look great.
No, and then I dressed down because I didn't want anyone to think that I dolled myself up.
I really didn't think you'd remember me at all.
Yeah, well, I'm delighted that you remembered me.
Well, you are this big Hollywood deal.
Oh God, no, I'm not really. That's just,
I read the thing in the alumni magazine. I also have access to the donations and the financial documents and development deals.
Wait, am I like a celebrity alumna?
I am calling to give you a warning about something. And I don't even know if I should be discussing this because there are ethical considerations and
What the fuck?
Chloe Winter and her mother.
What?
You wrote a novella in, right after your wife died.
Yeah, it's a sappy memoir about an idiot girl that I no longer like.
You're an idiot. It's not a memoir. It's a novella. And it has 17 of the most beautiful sentences I've ever read. And there is a plot afoot to ruin it.
By publishing it, you mean?
No, by doing this. Have they talked to you about it?
Yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
And so, well, what do you think of this little plot they've got cooked up?
Plot?
This thing where they tie publication to Michelle's memoir and make a giant pile of money.
Wait, what now?
Wow, you really do remember me.
What?
One of the biggest laughs I ever got was in the psych lecture when I said, today we will be talking about Georgia O'Keeffe, who said, wait, you're saying my flowers look like what?
I don't remember that. But you might have to meet my brother.
Why?
Because you remember psych classes by when you got the biggest laugh.
Okay, so did they call you and talk about this awful pairing?
Well, not exactly. I mean, the kid, Chloe, works at Gersh.
Sort of.
What?
So the kid
got on my schedule and she told me that she had a copy of the novella and wanted to let me make some changes and then maybe publish it. She says that it's not as bad as I remember it.
Nothing is ever as bad as we remember.
I don't know. My crush on you was pretty bad.
So you pulled out the novella.
Well, I'd burned all my copies, so she sent it to me.
Okay. Well, I might be wrong about all this. It's just before Michelle died, she wrote this god-awful memoir.
No, future conditional. It's beautiful.
Winter's Cold Truth.
What?
They've been shopping it for 2 years now to every publisher, every editor. Nobody wants it.
She was a better writer than I am.
Are you out of your mind?
There's not a good way to answer that question.
Fair enough.
When they do a psych evaluation and they say, do you ever feel like the voices in the radio are talking to you? I always say, isn't that what they're supposed to do?
You've been through a lot of those psych evals.
Oh, therapy intake, that kind of thing.
Oh, sure. Like when they say, have you ever thought of taking your own life? And I say, me and everybody else who's ever met me.
It's hard to get a laughter in a psych eval.
Yeah.
So when Arlene came up with the idea of pairing my novella with her kid's memoir, which she claimed never to have been allowed to read.
Well, that would be complete and utter bullshit. If she claimed she hadn't read it, I mean.
In fact, she retitled it.
Yes.
She had me send her a copy of that.
Why?
Apparently as a manipulation to get me to look at the pages again.
Did you?
A little.
And?
I figured it was just because I had read it a long time ago and knew the story.
What?
I got bored. I started thinking about editorial stuff I would do before even thinking about submitting it. I kind of wanted to go in there and just start fixing the awkward sentences and restructuring it.
Rambling paragraphs, repeating sequences that aren't callback or motif, just filler.
Is that possible?
Is what possible?
Was she not a better writer than I am?
Oh, she was always not a better writer than you are.
That can't be right.
Okay, so I'm at a label called Putnam. And when they brought me the manuscript and I read your story, I was floored.
I don't understand.
It's a New Yorkie kind of old-timey expression. It means I really liked it.
I know what floored means. I haven't given anyone permission to take anything out yet.
So this is what I'm saying. They brought it to me hoping that with your piece attached, we could, and I am quoting here, dangle a couple of Krugerrands in front of her, make a deal, and sell 1.5 million copies to mouth-breathing television watchers alone.
That's Arlene.
That's Chloe, the kid.
Oh, Jesus.
I thought you should know.
And also that maybe you could get publishing rights to my novella for Penguin.
Putnam.
Sorry.
We're owned by Penguin.
Huh. So they've been trying to sell Michelle's memoir. Then they came to me with flattery.
Much as I am doing today.
Indeed. In an attempt to use my youthful tale of love and loss to make money on my dead wife's memoir.
Yes.
And you are getting in touch to warn me that they are not trustworthy and to make an offer on my novella that cuts them out entirely.
Yes.
Because you are trustworthy.
No, because when I told Arlene that I had ethical issues discussing this with her without a letter from you or your agent, she said, you can go broke worrying about your ethics. And I like your book.
And you smell money.
Giant piles of money.
On mouth-breathing television fans alone.
Oh, not on this novella. No, we're lucky if we even break even on this novella. Even if you expand it out to 70,000 words.
Where am I going to find another 30,000 words in this little...
Maybe alternating chapters that expose the city they're living in, take us through each of the recurring neighborhoods through the eyes of the heroine during the first part of the book and her walks, so that by the time it's ending and she walks the 30 blocks in her torn sweater.
Wait. Shut up. You're serious about this?
Well, that's not the only device that might work.
No. I get it. It's good. You say we're not even going to break even?
We will not break even. You will get an advance. And if we can get you on the list for a quarter when none of our big guns is dropping in title.
I don't know what that means.
We can throw the whole marketing budget at this, push it on the majors, the late night shows, NPR, try for the podcast, WTF with Mark Maron.
Ooh, you can do that?
I can't make any promises. It depends on the timing. But theoretically, if you're interested in doing some real writing, this would be a really good way to get your numbers up.
My numbers?
Twitter, Instagram.
So if I want to do real writing, the first step is to build my Twitter following.
You remember how Snooki got her book deal, $500,000. She hadn't even set pen to paper. She had the numbers.
I may have to gear up to a new psych eval.
This is good news, Lindsay. You have positioned yourself perfectly, and now it turns out you have a manuscript just waiting to be fleshed out.
You do get points for not saying flushed out.
And don't let those two start taking it out with Michelle's thing attached. It just doesn't make any sense.
No, it seemed weird to me too. Arlene talked about it like a gospel music call and response.
She used that line with me too, but that's because she has so little imagination that she didn't understand that first person narrative is not the same thing as memoir.
Oh,
What?
that's why everyone likes it so much more than I did.
What?
It was so personal that I forgot that it's not a memoir.
No, it's not a memoir at all. See, I thought it was that same character that starred in all your stories in Grace's class.
No.
Did Arlene try the thing with you about having a legacy for her daughter?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, she did that with me too, only then half the time it was about how she was trying to help Chloe set up her career.
God, I hate everybody.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. I was just starting to not hate Arlene.
So you want to look at the thing now that you know you remembered it all wrong.
Yes, very yes. You really didn't say, Lindsay is making a point about how we're all assholes.
No, no, I said you do it to her. And then she found words to express her delight.
God, all I remember was embarrassment and humiliation.
So you thought it was a memoir.
Not while I was writing it, just later, I think.
Writers are weird.
People liked it.
It's really good.
I thought they just couldn't see how self-indulgent it was.
So you had to carry that shame all by yourself.
What?
Read it knowing that it's fiction, and you will see how beautifully, transparently, humanly absurd this woman is in her girlish passion and then in her enervating loss.
What if it's good?
What if it is?